We ballin', shot callin', trying to get that shot to drop up against that shot clock. You got to beat the best to be the best. We're trying to see who be the best from the east to the west. We ballin', shot callin', trying to get that shot to drop. Hey, thanks for tuning in to Bo No Basketball because I do. Jumping right into this video, let's review the games from yesterday, Wednesday, January 25th. It was some fantastic and phenomenal games that came to us yesterday. Let's look and see what we got going on. We got the Pacers faced off against the Magic. The Magic's record is 19 and 29. As you know, the Pacers' record is 24 and 26. They are dropping down lower and lower. I told you any team can fall off. I had the Pacers as one of my bottom feeding teams, not to make the playoffs. I didn't even have them as my top 10. I had them as my lower five in the East. And here they are losing to the Magic. Shout out to Miles Turner for putting in his double-double at 22 points, 13 rebounds. Wendell Carter Jr. dropped his 18 and 10, representing for Orlando. And they did what it took to get the game won and done. Scrolling down to the 76ers versus the Nets. This was a premier matchup. Whether or not the Nets could best the 76ers was in the air. Everyone knew and assumed that they would have no answer for Joel Embiid, who dropped his double-double with 26 points and 10 rebounds. James Harden, he put in some clutch buckets when it was time. They needed a shot. They went through him, to him, and he did get the job done. However, Kyrie Irving did not shy away from fighting back. They fought back. Ben Simmons could have done better, but look, Kyrie Irving had a double-double as well with 30 points and dropping 10 dimes and no KD. One would assume if KD was in this lineup, um, certain droughts that the Nets would have been in may not have existed. But it's up for grabs because when a superstar goes out, other players step up, and so when a superstar comes back, other players don't step up as much, and that could always be a flip of a coin as to what face of the team you'll see on any given night. This is a good matchup though with the 76ers and the Nets. I like that game because it just shined a little light and showed what I've been telling y'all already. If you got a dominant center like they do on the 76ers and Joel Embiid, and you got a distributor like James Harden, who also is a big shot maker and a big shot taker, you're in the game. You stand a chance to win. So they're not to be taken lightly. I don't put them in a deep run, but we do have the trade deadline coming up soon. And so teams are going to do a switcheroo on us real quick. And some players we think are on teams may not end up on the teams. And different players will be acquired. Different talents will be acquired and and utilized in certain ways. And so scrolling down, we got the Wizards versus the Rockets here. Um, Wizards bested the Rockets, which made sense. The Wizards are trying to make some noise, falling in line under my boy Kyle Kuzma, and he's doing a fantastic job, if I may say so. He's doing phenomenal work. He's trying to lead his team and will his team to win. Let's not forget, he was under the tutelage of LBJ, the king, so it makes sense for him to contribute the way he's contributing. If we scroll down, we got the Nuggets against the Bucks. It was a good game. The Joker was not present, needless to say, but that does not take away the effort that the Bucks came with. Because like we talked about with KD, we don't know if the Joker's presence would have been felt just because he was there. Would his team not have showed up? But look, I will say this though. Not only was the Joker not present, Jamal Murray, big shot maker and big shot taker, was also not there. Shout out to the Nuggets for fighting as hard as they did. 99 to 107 without your best two players. Hey, look, I really like what the Nuggets organization is doing over there. They're gonna have to be dealt with. You feel me? I really want to see them match up against the Warriors, as I think that's the would be the most electrifying game in the West. I don't see any. You got Ja Morant them and the Grizzlies as highlight reels, but as far as like real great games on every night and big time adjustments being made, it's the Nuggets and the Warriors for me. And I won't doubt that those are the two teams that'll end up in the West. I won't make that call just yet. I ain't ready to pull the trigger, but um, those two teams are looking sweet. But the Bucks dominated. Giannis was a beast. 33 points, 14 rebounds, and 4 assists. Shout out to Aaron Gordon for trying to do what he could do. He put the team on his back at 26 points and 4 rebounds and 4 assists. At the end, Giannis was too much. You feel me? As he is on most nights. Um, Pelicans versus Timberwolves. Shout out to the Minnesota, where I reside. You feel me? They're at 500 win team right now. 125, lost 25. They wasn't going for the Pelicans. Anthony Edwards ended up being too much for CJ McCollum, and that's that. Enough said. Hawks against Thunder. I like it. Two young, fiery teams, really. And that dominant player in Trae Young. He had the 33 points, 11 assists. He wanted to make his presence felt. Shea was not enough. You feel me? I think it was two young teams, but the better young. See, it's interesting when young teams face young teams. Thunder has been best in a lot of teams based on their fresh legs. Trae Young them matched them with fresh legs and points and dimes to top it off with. Warriors versus Grizzlies. You know what? Pause. Let's scroll. You know, it was two superior teams going at it. I'm sorry, four um banging games we're going to double back to. Raptors versus Kings, though. Raptors, shout out to them. I told you they're grinding. I like that team. They're grinding. The Kings is trying to do some things and make some noise. They're starting to climb on my radar. I don't believe in them. I think they got tools. I think they'll be a good show on any given night. Um, we'll see. Let's keep an eye on them. They're on my radar. I'll say that. I didn't have them counted in. You feel me? I definitely had them counted out. I will admit, but they're on my radar now. Right down to the Lakers. They did that thing against the Spurs. Lakers with a 23 and 26 record. Spurs with a 14 and 34 record. So we expected LeBron to be LeBron. 20 points, 9 rebounds, 11 assists. And now for our premier games of the night, Dame Dollar, who I don't usually bet on because he be tripping, dropped a 60 piece. Not only did he drop a 60 piece, it was the most efficient 60-point game in the history of the NBA. Anybody correct me if I'm wrong, but it was the most efficient 60-point game in the history of the NBA. Topped it off, which means basically he made a great deal of the shots he took compared to the ones he missed. He also dropped 7 rebounds, or stole though, took 7 rebounds and dropped 8 dimes on their head. Jazz, you feel me? I like what they're doing. They'll keep an eye on them. They're not one of my top teams. I like what they're doing without my boy Donovan Mitchell. They're still grinding, but I don't see them going too far. Warriors versus Grizzlies with the highlight reel. Looky here. Warriors got tricks up their sleeves at every given minute of the game. They got out of bounds plays, and so this game was neck and neck, back to back. Steph Curry was on their head, on their heels, 34 points. He got ejected towards the end of the game. You know who stepped up? His other splash bro stepped up. Klay Thompson shined in the light as bright as he could. And then the last play of the game, the Warriors, you feel me, ran an out of bounds play, hit Jordan Poole. The trickery they hit the Grizzlies with was amazing. They had all the Grizzlies running to one side for the most part, hit them with the trick. Jordan Poole sprung free for an easy layup right at the rim. I mean, the Warriors got finesse. They got game. They got tricks. And if you sleep, game over. You think it's close. They trying to finish you. You got to pay attention to their press conferences when they say, because they actually speak the truth, but they play two lies and the truth. But that truth they tell ain't no joke. Coach Kerr, he said they're not finishing games and closing games out the end. He said, we're happy it's the regular season, not the playoffs. What he means is, allow me to translate. When we get down to the nitty-gritty, we one of the best closing teams in the NBA. And our record proves it. Pay attention to what they're saying. You feel me? And they did it again last night against the Grizzlies. The go-ahead bucket from Jordan Poole. And real quick, I'm not going to dive deep because I'm on the move. Today's game, the 26th, we'll make quick picks. The Celtics versus the Knicks. Let's go, Jason Tatum. Julius Randle is a choke at the end of the game. I'm sorry, I rock with him, but he chokes for the most part for me at the end of the game until he proves me wrong. The Nets versus the Pistons. The Nets just took an L to the 76ers. We know they're going to come out fiery. The Pistons' record is trash. The Nets is going to destroy these boys. Win by 20 or more. Bulls versus Hornets. The Bulls are trying to stay in competition, in contention. They're running for the playoffs. I expect them to dominate from the gate, from the jump, from the blow of the first whistle. Cavaliers versus Rockets. Rockets young and spry, so they can sneak anybody at any given time. But I got Cavaliers, one of my best teams in the NBA because they play that five-team basketball, five-man basketball, 5 men on the defense, 5 men on the offense. They're always on the string. I like them. They got the high flyers. They got the highlight reels. They got Donovan Mitchell and the big shot maker and big shot taker. Rockets can't handle these boys. Mavericks versus Suns. Flip your coin. Flip your coin. If Luka Magic ain't there, they lose. It's as simple as that. The Suns play good ball. They got good young legs, and they play more defense. Flip a coin. But with this game, I'm going to go ahead and pick the Suns. Spurs versus Clippers. Clippers want to be there in the end. They're working on getting all their players healthy. They want to be there in the end. They 26-24. I do not expect they're savvy team. I do not expect they're going to lose to the Spurs with a record of 14-34. Not the Clippers. They're not playing games with low-ranking teams like that. And with that, we out this piece. We balling, shot calling, trying to get that shot to drop. Stay tuned. Like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Help the algorithm and help your boy proceed forward. Peace.